In this video, we are going to discuss few topics from the chapter Economic Importance of Bacteria and Fungi. And the topic which we are going to discuss today in this video is useful role of bacteria in medicine. As we have read in the previous video that certain bacteria are helpful to us while certain bacteria are harmful to us. And here we are going to use the usefulness of the bacteria. How do they help humans? Bacteria are used in medication for the production of antibiotics, serums and vaccines. And now we are going to discuss this in detail. First of all, what are antibiotics? Antibiotic is a chemical substance which is produced by a living organism which can stop the growth of some disease-producing bacteria and fungi. These chemicals are called antibiotics. So these antibiotics, actually they are the chemicals and they are helpful in preventing the growth of the certain bacteria and fungi. In our daily life, we are using many antibiotics. There are dozens of antibiotics which we are using in our daily life. And the common of them are streptomycin, chloromycin, tetracycline and penicillin. So these are the four common examples of the antibiotics. And the first antibiotic produced, it was penicillin. So this was the first antibiotic produced, and it was produced from the fungus. Mr. Alexander Fleming, he was the first scientist to produce this antibiotic. Actually, Alexander Fleming observed that some growing bacteria in a culture were destroyed by an accidental contamination of a mold known as Penicillium cryogenum. So this Penicillium cryogenum, it was formerly known as Penicillium notatum. This fungus was accidentally kept along with bacteria, and it was observed that the bacteria were destroyed because of this mold, means fungus, known as Penicillium cryogenum, which was formerly called Penicillium notatum. Alexander Fleming discovered that this mold produces a substance from it which prevents the growth of many bacteria. And later on, this mold was named as penicillin. The first antibiotic was penicillin, which was used for the medical use, and it was the product of a mold which is known as fungus and not of any bacteria. So this penicillin antibiotic was prepared by the mold or fungus called Penicillium chrysogenum. Another antibiotic, streptomycin, was later on discovered by Salman Waxman. It was also discovered accidentally in the similar way as penicillin was discovered. And the source of this antibiotic, streptomycin, is a bacteria, and that bacteria is called Streptomyces griseus. This bacteria, Streptomyces griseus, is a bacteria which accidentally produced some substances which killed other bacteria. Thus, streptomycin antibiotic was discovered with the help of bacteria called Streptomyces griseus. Moving on further, the third antibiotic is chlorotetracycline. It was produced by Streptomyces aureofaciens. This is the name of the organism. And the last antibiotic, erythromycin, it was produced from the organism Saccharopolyspora erythia. So this was the organism which produced erythromycin antibiotic. Now let's study what is the good criteria for a good antibiotic. An antibiotic which is good should be able to kill variety of disease producing microorganisms. The good antibiotic should not produce any undesirable side effects. And a good antibiotic should not kill normal bacteria of the host which are helpful for the host. Host is the organism on which the bacteria survive. That organism is called host. So it should not be normal, means it should not kill normal bacteria of the host. Now the uses of antibiotics are used in the preservation of food, especially for fresh meat and fish. It is used for treating animal feed. It is also used for controlling plant pathogens. Pathogens are the harmful organisms or bacteria which destroy the plants, and the antibiotics helps in controlling these plant pathogens. So the topic which we have covered right now is the antibiotic, several antibiotics, criteria for good antibiotic and other uses for antibiotics. Moving on further, next helpful feature from the bacteria is serum. Serum is actually the blood plasma, that is the liquid part of the blood from which the fibrinogen has been removed. Fibrinogen is a compound in the blood. If we remove that fibrinogen from the liquid portion of the blood, it's called plasma. Now, it contains numerous chemical substances including antibodies and antitoxins. Now let's discuss what are toxins and antitoxins. Antitoxins and toxins. First of all, we will study about toxins. Toxins are poisonous proteins which are released by the bacteria during their growth. So these harmful proteins are called toxins. Now we will study about antitoxins. Antitoxin is a substance produced by animal bodies which reacts with the toxins known as poisons, and these are produced by the germs. Means toxics are produced by the germs and the antitoxins are the substances which are produced in the animal bodies to react with toxins to remove the effect of harmful toxins. Now, moving on further, we have earlier studied that serum contains antitoxins, means they have chemicals which destroys certain toxins. So these are having, serums are having antitoxins for a particular pathogen. Serums are also used as a preventive measure against the bacterial invasion, means they are used for stopping the entry of bacteria into the organisms. For preparing serum, we have to adopt a method, and for preparing serum, a small dose of bacterial toxins is introduced into the blood of the healthy animal such as cow or horse. Means an injection of the bacterial toxins is injected into the healthy animal. The healthy animal produces antitoxins to neutralize the effect of the toxin. Means the body of the organism produces antitoxins to remove the effect of toxin produced, to remove the effect of the toxin injected in the organism. After several injections of the same toxin in the blood of such animal is taken out, Means that when the injection is given to the organism or animal which is full of bacterial toxins for several times, the blood starts producing antitoxins, and later on, after giving several injections, the blood of the animal is taken out. That blood is now chilled. Chilled means it is taken to a temperature of very cold temperature. Means chilling means taking the blood to a very low temperature. On chilling the blood clears as straw colored liquid. Means on giving us such a low temperature, the serum separates out from the other clot of the blood. Means to say, when the blood is chilled, the blood starts clotting and serum gets separated from the clot of blood. Hence, this liquid is used as the serum, which means an medicine for killing the germs present inside the human or animal blood. Thus, this serum acts as a medicine to kill or destroy the germs entering into the body later on. These serums at once produces antibodies so that the germ entered in the organism are killed out. These serums are used as the medicine for the snake bite and is injected into the organism so that if by chance a snake bites an organism and the poison enters into the organism body, later on this serum can kill the bacteria or it can destroy the bacteria and the poison which is introduced into the organisms. In this way, the serums are produced and are used as medicine for the different organisms including horses, men, and all human beings. Moving on further, let's study a few serum compounds which are produced by genetically modified bacteria. And few serums are blood clotting factor 8 for the treatment for hemophilia disease A, and the factor 9 is used for the treatment for hemophilia B. Moving on further, let's discuss about the term vaccines. Vaccine is actually weakened germs or dead germ substances. These are the weak germs or the germs which are dead. Vaccination. The term vaccination says the introduction of the weakened germs or the dead germs into the body for developing resistance to a particular disease. This means vaccination is a process of injection of weak germs or dead germs into the body so that the body may develop antibodies for the same types of germs and can prevent the further growth of the germs in the body later on. Different vaccines are available now for different diseases such as cholera, typhoid, measles, chickenpox, etc. On injecting the vaccines in the body, the person gets the mild infection as these vaccines are the weak germs or the dead germ substances. And these germs, when introduced in the body, they start producing antitoxins. And these antitoxins provide the immunity in the organism so that later on in future, if the same type of germs attack the organism, they will be killed by the antitoxins produced initially in the body. Two common vaccines obtained by growing bacteria are by introducing killed bacteria, which is called TAP vaccine, and this vaccine is used for typhoid, and by introducing live-in weakened bacteria, and it's called BCG vaccine, and it is used for the treatment or for the prevention of tuberculosis. Moving on further, let's discuss about toxoids. Toxoids are the inactivated toxins of the particular bacteria. These are inactivated toxins of the particular bacteria which can still stimulate the production of the respective antibodies which are used for producing immunity against the diphtheria and tetanus disease. So toxoids are inactivated poisons or toxins. These also, when introduced in the body, produces antibodies, and these antibodies prevent in further invasion of the germs in the body and helps to fight if by chance the toxins or the germs are introduced in the body.